What is going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. I am the covered call guy. It is April, and as you know, as for those who are new, welcome to my channel. These are my holdings. I hope you guys like the new graphics. I'm trying to add as I buy new stuff. I'm just gonna add it instead of doing a portfolio review once a month. I don't think that's great or fair, or you want to see my portfolio updated as the most current, right? And I think that just makes sense. Anyway, welcome to my channel. I am the covered call guy, and as you guys know, we try to increase our income every single month. And right now, my projected annual dividend / distributed income is about 70.4K a year, 5.8K a month, 1.3K a week, $193 per day, and roughly $8.05 per hour. For those who are new, welcome to my channel again. My goal here is to create $120,000 in annual passive income. I'm currently holding GPIX, QDivO, GPIQ, IWMI, SPY, QQI, and iDivO. iDivO is my newest addition. My original plan was to just stack up on IWMI, SPY, and QQI, but I'm starting to really it was a good entry point for me, at least. It hit my trigger price, and I dove in. So I'm really keeping an eye on iDivO, and I might have to shift away from IWMI, SPY, QQI, and if 2026 is gonna give me some better entry price for iDivO, then you know what, I'm gonna start putting some money into iDivO. All right, let's get started on today's video. As you guys know, it is April, and I want to make a video on the April wake-up call. And what is it, guys? If you're new to my channel and you're looking for a sign, this is your sign. Okay, this is your April wake-up call. What do I mean by that? You are running out of time. Okay, if you're looking for a sign, this is your sign. You found my channel, you found my video. I have a great bunch of subscribers and people who people who leave in the comments are really smart. And this is your sign to educate yourself. Well, this is it, right? What do I mean by you're running out of time? Well, the compounding clock, right? We are already 4 months. 4 months is already dead, right? It's gone. 4 months of 2026 already essentially gone, right? And your compounding clock is bleeding out. So every day you wait mathematically guarantees the future of government dependency and financial stress. Yes, the more you want to enjoy and have fun and delay and just like, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next week, I'll start it next year, you are going to have to depend on the government, and I don't think that's something you want to do. So you found my channel, and I'm going to show you why starting income investing today is your only way out. Okay, again, this could be your only final warning to act before macroeconomic headwinds permanently dismantle your retirement, right? It's only going to get harder every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. You guys are seeing this yourself. If you are young, you're in my peer group, I'm in my early 30s, right? I don't think inflation is going to come down anytime soon, right? It's only going to get more expensive. So take that as you want. Okay, brutal reality. These are straight facts and data about $955 median savings for all workers. All right, and let's look at the terrifying reality of our structural retirement crisis. The median saving is in a defined contribution plan for all workers is a pathetic $955. It's not even $1,000. Even excluding those with zero savings, the median retirement wealth is only $40,000. This is a failure. This translates to 1 in 5 adults over 50 have absolutely nothing saved. So you're staring down an empty, inescapable poverty. If you found my channel and you were looking for a sign, this is your sign to start doing your own due diligence and start investing now. Don't wait. This is your calling. I'm the Hail Mary here, right? All right, the default path is dependency. What I mean by that, right? A lot of, especially for those who are new, you will always hear the 4% reality. What that means is that the advice given to the typical American nearing retirement holds just roughly $185,000, but they need over $820,000 just to survive. And that is using the standard 4% route that generates a poverty level of $7,400 a year to live. And you're just like, how can you do that? Well, that does include like your Social Security and other contributions that you may have that boost it up. Right, and if you don't, then you're absolutely screwed, right? And then the zero access. This is roughly 54 million workers that lack employer retirement plan entirely. Not everyone offers a 401k or whatever they offer, right? 401b, whatever, right? 42% of middle class would be ruined by a $5,000 emergency. Your default path is strict austerity, declining purchasing power, and total financial dependency, right? If you don't invest to maintain, or your goal should always be beat inflation, you are guaranteed to be locked in to poverty. Guaranteed. Social Security is bankrupting for us Americans, right? If you think Social Security will save you, you are lying to yourself. This is a study from Penn Morton Budget Model. Confirmed the trust fund would be completely depleted by 2032, right? Just 6 years from now, roughly, give or take. All right, so upon depletion, ongoing tax revenue will barely cover 77% of scheduled benefits. Okay, so relying on this insolvency is really, it's a dying, collapsing system, right? Financial suicide here. Okay, the poverty trap. So over 40% projected benefit cuts, right? To restore solvency, government will have to force brutal legislative reforms, projecting benefits cuts up to 40%. You think that's gonna happen? Come on, they're going to lose votes, right? They're going to have to hike retirement age, that's the best thing to do, to 69. And most likely, they're going to push it to 71 or 72. And then slash your cost of living adjustments. So even if you are already getting $2,000 a monthly check, right? The real purchasing power has already been gutted. You're going to need $4,000, right? So your baseline survival stipend is rapidly turning into a guarantee of poverty. Again, if you're looking for a sign, listen to the sound of my voice. This is your sign to start living your life. All right, stop living your life and start investing. If you are in your early 20s, right, you may think and feel like you have a lot of time. You really don't, actually. You really don't. This is the best time, your 20s and your 30s, to sacrifice so you can cruise in your 40s, or you still want to grind a little bit in your 40s. That's fine. And completely be free in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, the mathematical deficit. So I don't like just talking about stuff. I like giving you the facts and data, right? So even without these cuts, your $2,000 check is hopelessly crushed by 2026 cost of living. So let's take an average Social Security check, but it's about $2,000. That's your average. Your average rent is already 2.2.2K, right? And in senior housing, look at that, $5.4 to $5.5 thousand, right? The average single family rent hit $2.2 $1,000 this year. So instantly wiping out all of your Social Security benefit before you even buy food. Factor in groceries, Medicare. You're already bleeding out cash every month. You cannot survive on this. Don't ever depend on it. It's nice to have, but don't ever depend on it. Create your own Social Security check, and that's essentially what I'm doing and what you're doing. Right? Healthcare anchor, right? So medical expenses are always gonna go up. I think that was medical and education was the only thing that gone up in every single crisis, in every single crash, right? A 65-year-old retiring today will burn through roughly 170 grand in after taxes savings solely on baseline healthcare. Of course, they're talking about the average figure here. Right, it's a terrifying number, right? Come on. I don't think a lot of people are willing to or have this type of money. It'd be nice for you to build up for this, but you do have to realize that the average American, they're not starting out like us. They're not building the cash like we are. And if we're starting it now, the April wake up call. This is your wake up call. We are ahead of the game. Right. So why do people fail? Right. I do talk about this a lot. I'm going to talk about it again, especially for those who are new. We call this the present bias. So we heavily favor immediate gratification over our future survival. Nearly half of Americans, if you're not American, just use this as a statistic, because I am an American, right? Won't save without being forced to, right? Marching blindly toward a cliff. And then there's the investor inertia. Without corporate auto-enrollment, manual intervention leads to devastating wealth-destroying procrastination, right? People don't fail because of the lack of knowledge. They fail because they procrastinate until it's mathematically impossible to recover. That's why the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time to plant a tree is today, because it takes a decade. right? A lot of people in my previous video, oh, nobody has $600,000 to invest. I'm not saying, it's easy. I never tell anybody it's easy, right? Not everybody. I'm not gonna say not everybody can't get $600,000, but if you truly grind a full decade, right, just find any way to make money, any way, sacrifice a full decade. I guarantee you either get $600,000, or if you're not American, or live in a certain part of the world, you might come very close to it. But if you're American, live in America, you either come very close to it, or you will surpass it. I just don't believe that, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. I think that's just full of excuses. So, I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but if I can do it, you can, right? I ain't the smartest one in the room too, so. Right? Inflow neglect. This is the most dangerous psychological hurdle. We call this inflow neglect, which means induces total financial paralysis. This is when people hear Social Security trust fund is depleting, they assume benefit drops to zero, and then completely just give up, right? This will lead you to abandon your only chance at capital accumulation. There's your wake-up call. Snap out of it. If you have a strong thesis, you have a strong conviction, why would you sell out of your holdings, right? This is the same way. Don't ever listen to outside noise. Listen to what you've already trying to achieve. You have to manifest it. You have to see it. This is the only way. Manifesting is real. I truly believe in that. If you protect your own thoughts, right? Of course, not just listening to yourself, you do have to listen to the critics. Critics is what makes you stronger, but you don't always listen to what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying, right? You have a strong thesis, you follow through, you will get to your goal. If you found my YouTube channel, right, we all have the same goal here. At the end of the goal, we all want to be financially free, right? Some of us want to be financially free with just a Honda. Some of us want to be financially free with a BMW. Some even better with a Rolls Royce. But we all have that same goal, and that is just be, not shackled down, breaking away from the 9 to 5, breaking away from depending on a job. Right, so, don't listen to what everybody else is saying. Have your thesis, have your conviction, and push forward. All right, this is what gives you the psychological advantage here, is traditional growth, right? So traditional investing dangerously ties your emotional security to erratic, unpredictable market crashes, right? So when macroeconomic shock hits, you will panic sell at the bottom and permanently eviscerate your wealth. Versus this is why I love income investing. Now, this might be a little biased, of course, but this is my reason of why I like income investing, right? Income investing, at least for me, neutralizes this terror by focusing entirely on the relentless, predictable arrival of cash flow, okay? By separating your principal from your dividend yield, you become completely immune to market panic. I will never sell out of something just because it's crashing. I sell because the thesis is broken, the fundamental of the company is broken. Then that is why I sell. Otherwise, I will not sell. Okay, market drops equal discounts. So under the income investing paradigm, terrifying market volatility transforms into your greatest mathematical weapon. If you understand this part, you're already well above your peers who have no idea what they're doing here, right? They just buy to buy. When the market bleeds and share price crashes, your dividend yield actually skyrockets. So you are weaponizing market panic to acquire massive stream of future cash flow at a steep discount. That's why I say, guys, don't ever panic sell. Why would you do that? Especially if you are holding great ETFs, great stocks, right? You aren't gambling on a volatile portfolio. You are meticulously engineering a bulletproof second salary. Okay, I'm gonna just take this as the 8-month edge scenario here. So when I say time is running out and delaying it just by 8 months, geometrically destroys tens of thousands of dollars in lost future compounding. So every single day your capital sits idle, you delay it, you say, you know what, I'll do a little bit, I'm not sure, I'll just, I'll forget about it, I'll start my retirement plan tomorrow, starting next week, starting next month. Well, it's already April, right? If you started this year by saying I want to do something with myself, I want to change something about myself, it's already April. Your future compounding is already permanently slowly being eradicated, right? You cannot buy back this lost time. Now, when I say you cannot, obviously not everybody has $50,000 a month to invest. Then if you earn that much, then you possibly could wait a little bit, right? Then obviously I'm gonna say almost nobody has 50 grand to invest freely every month. All right, beating inflation, right? You desperately need a dynamic shield against inflation, right? Which fixed pensions and collapsing Social Security completely failed to provide. These are the fixed, and that's why I don't like bonds. But of course, everybody has their tastes and takes, right? This is where you target elite dividend kings, right? Your income organically outpaces CPI, right? You have to match or beat inflation, right? This is why you buy these corporations that possess ruthless pricing power, right? They passing their increased profits directly to you, which help you survive inflation, right? Start compounding today, or rising cost of living will bury you, right? Let's look at the 2027 rate cut squeeze, okay? So as yield compress, right, there is extreme unforgiving urgency to lock in your yields before 2027. As of right now, I don't know. I do feel like global central banks are pivoting, meaning interest rate cuts would rapidly obliterate yields on your safe cash vehicle. Again, I don't know. They could pivot and they start hiking. I could be completely wrong on this, right? But, you know, the trend is people are looking for rate cuts. All right, what is the premium rotation that comes out of this? Well, massive institutional capital will violently flood into dividend equities in a desperate hunt for yield. Everybody is always chasing yield. Make sure it's quality yield. That is the biggest and hardest thing to find, right? You have to secure your entry now before rotation forces a premium pricing scenario that locks you out. Because then if you wait, you buy too late. Well, this is what happened. You got locked out. Right, the longevity risk trap. What do I mean by that? Well, 25% chance to live to 95. Right, you have to eliminate the terrifying longevity risk. Right, I hear this a lot. I see this a lot. It gets talked about a lot. This is the high probability that you outlive your money and die broke. Right, a 65-year-old married couple today has a massive 25% chance that one spouse does survive to 95. If you are forced to sell assets during a market crash, your portfolio will prematurely spiral to absolute zero. Now imagine that you do live to 95. How many years is that? How many decades is that of compounding that you started today? Right? The transition to sovereignty, right? The true income owners like you and I relies exclusively on yield. It's true, whether you like to hear it or not, right? That means leaving the principal entirely untouched as an impenetrable fortress, right? Start out as an employee, second step an investor, and now you're an income owner, right? This is a perpetual financial engineer that sustains your life and protects you from outliving your wealth, right? And as you have kids, you have family, you want to pass it down, that's great, right? You have to urgently transition from being a dependent employee to a completely sovereign income owner, or you will be left behind. You will work until you can't anymore. You will be forced to work until you can't anymore. And that's not a good thing. Okay? Start now, please. Start now. 4 months of 2026 are already dead and gone, all right? And your compounding window is aggressively slamming shut. Look at the world, what's happening right now. I don't think prices are going to go down anytime soon. I hope they do, but I don't think so. All right? Waiting does not make this any easier. All right? It only makes your financial survival mathematically harder. Start today. Your only chance to permanently sever your reliance on a fragile, bankrupt government. Please do not depend on the government. The scariest thing you can hear is the government is here to help you. All right, that is one of the scariest things to hear. If you got anything out of this video, is to start now, build your income, and buy your freedom before you're out of time. For those who are new to this channel, I hope you're watching to the end of this. The goal here is for all of us, all of my subscribers, my viewers, people who support, people who don't even support. You know what? Even if you don't even support, the goal, all of us be financially free, and we all meet up on our own yachts on a nice beach, shipping on some nice champagne, enjoying life. That is the end goal for all of us. You got anything out of this video? Subscribe, comment, like. I'm trying to really, kind of have my reach out to kind of break that mindset of, oh, you're young, just buy growth. Please, you don't always have to buy growth because you're young. You can buy some income. It is okay. It is okay. With this job market, I would really say the chance of growth is, can you even hold a job for more than 2-3 years, right? So start your income building today. Build your second salary, right? Even an extra $500 a month pays bills. An extra $1,000, possibly depending on where you live, pays half a rent. Pushing it to $2,000 a month could be rent and some change, right? Think of it that way. If you're young, don't just chase growth, build income, and don't just sit on your hands and do nothing. You got something out of this? Support the channel. Leave a comment. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.